previous discourse. Perhaps Krishna evidently got so inspired while he was discussing the concluding portions of the last chapter that Arjuna, stunned with the very vehemence of his friend's words, could not digest them properly and understand them exhaustively.
So
Suffering.
I was just going to say, just paragraph by paragraph, I'll just go a little bit so that some
Yeah.
people don't have the book. That's why I guess this is a good way to do it. So then, he's saying that there was so much packed in that chapter 2. So much was there. So even though he was listening and then when Krishna भगवान saw, शुरू में वो कितना डिप्रेस हो गया था, राइट? उसके सब कुछ गिर गया था उसके हाथ से और कांप रहा था वगैरह वगैरह. अब वो थोड़ा सा कंपोज्ड हो गया है, सुन रहा है उनकी बातें. तो स्वामी जी से कृष्ण भगवान को भी जोश आ गया. हाँ सुन रहा है ये मेरी बात. उन्होंने धड़ाधड़ सब बोल दिया उसको. So Krishna Bhagwan got too much inspired and told him the whole thing, hoping that he will get it. So that's what happened. And then obviously that it was like too much at once came at Arjun, so he could not digest everything. That's what is happening. And the same thing happens to us. And I remember in the early part of when we were just doing the Mandukya Upanishad in our own class, how much arguments we used to have about karma yoga versus bhakti yoga versus gnana yoga, which one is better, this one is better, ye wo. Same confusion he's having. It's a natural thing. That's why Arjun represent us.
Suffering from his own delusions as he was, Arjuna, intellectually an average man, had not in himself that amount of subtle philosophical acumen to discriminate between the subtle arguments and grasp for himself whether the path of action or the way of knowledge was the direct approach to the infinite, the eternal. His question concludes, therefore, with a humble request. Tell me that one path by which I for certain can attain the highest.
So you can see that he could not figure out, because he also in his mind had two distinct paths, path of action and path of renunciation, and he's a path of knowledge, a way of knowledge. So he's like, please tell me one thing that I should do.
As a product of that age, there was no doubt, even in Arjuna's mind, that life was not to be squandered away in merely producing, acquiring, hoarding, and spending wealth. As a true child of Hinduism, he vaguely knew that he had to fulfill a great cultural mission in the world, and that material success was only the means and not the end for the goal. Partha's doubt was only on how best he could make use of the circumstances that presented themselves to him so that he might carve out for himself a greater cultural growth and a fuller spiritual unfoldment in himself.
So here he's a very important point is raised, that he's saying that Arjun, somewhere deep inside, he knew that what is the purpose of life. That's what he's talking about, and which applies to all of us. That according to Vedanta, the purpose of life is self-realization. Everything else that we do in the world is a sidey business, but somehow we flip it. We think that the main thing is to do all the stuff in the world, producing, acquiring, hoarding, spending, and our families and this and that, and the spirituality I might do it on the side. But here he's saying Arjun knew that ultimately he wants to pursue the spiritual path, and that's why he asked that, please tell me what is Shreyas for me. And he kind of knew that he himself was not capable of deciding. That's why he surrendered to Krishna Bhagwan, because he was like, in his mind, like leaving everything and sitting under a tree and meditating looked like a great option to him. And Krishna Bhagwan was glorifying, and that's why he got confused. So that if अगर वही करना है end में, तो फिर मैं ये क्यों करूं? Basically that's what it is. So we will stop here for it, because instead of going to the third one, because now Bhagwan is going to start talking what answer to his question. So this is just a background. But I think that Arjun's confusion in his head very significant for us because we have a kind of a similar question, you know. So I think this will be very good that how Krishna Bhagwan approaches this whole thing.
Umaji, we still have that question because we work, household things to do. There's that like Arjuna's, complex. And at the same time, learning this, we know our path.
We know, I'm sorry, what did you say? We're learning this?
We know our higher goal.
Yes.
We know of the so that's why there is that, those two things. Sometimes they do conflict then. There is conflict in that.
Yes. And I think that that's why the conversational style of a scripture is so fantastic because it humanizes it. We see
Yes.
Arjun, ourselves in Arjun,
Right now, in this situation itself.
Yes, this situation itself. And then Krishna Bhagwan is going to go through very much in detail because he's at one point he's going to say that, okay, meditation is great, but if you sit in meditation and you are still thinking about the world, you are a hypocrite. He went even as far as saying that.
Yes, yes.
So it's like, what's the point then? So first I should be able to sit in meditation with dropping the world, and I cannot drop the world until I have purity of mind. And until I do karma yoga, I cannot have purity of mind. So the path but again, we always think, no, I can go there directly. That's what it is, right?
Right, yeah. But at the same time, then he'll show how these two can be combined.
Yes.
Beautifully.
Yes.
How we can do the karma yoga. We don't have those, so there's no conflict in the mind.
Yes.
How we do the, and that will help.
Yes.
For the. Yeah.
And in our Puranic stories, you can be a housewife, you can be a king, like Janak was a self-realized, he was a king. And then there is that story of housewife and that some butcher was also, right?
Yeah.
दिखने में कितना खराब दिखता है उसका काम, but if that's what in those days he was born in a butcher family, so that was his business. That didn't stop him from getting higher in spirituality.
Right.
Huh. Kamla ji.
I'm going through this thing a lot. I have been thinking about this a lot, that I'm in a karma bhumi. I'm surrounded by so many loving family members, and I feel like I'm very active person also, and I love to enjoy life. So I love dancing, I love yoga, I love walking, I love traveling, I love like so many ambitions there. So, and along with that, I love dressing up. I love, there's nothing I don't like it. But when you are busy with all these things, then you don't get time for meditation. And we think like, okay, through Karam Yoga, we will slowly be there and one day we'll be able to meditate. Doesn't, according to me, I may be wrong, according to me, that doesn't work. We need to sit down whether our mind stays there or not. Sit down and dedicate that time for meditation. That brings the stability in mind. Slowly and slowly, we can do our activities more effectively, and we are going on both paths simultaneously. So, in our culture, that's why it was a tradition of Brahma Muhurt, that we get up 4 o'clock in the morning when we are not tied up with the worldly duties. That's the time when the purest vibrations are there in the universe. So you get up that time, you do and meditate during that time, you do swadhyaya, like study scriptures during that time, and take care of your body that time. So that part is done. And then you go into Karam Yoga. Then whole day you are doing everything with that routine. This is my experience. This is my feeling to share with everybody. And I could do that during this COVID-19 because I didn't have to go to business. I didn't, but that was not, these were all excuses because 4 o'clock I was not going to business. But mind was just not ready for it. So now during this time, I determined, I made it clear to my mind that no, I have to do it every day. So now I started doing it every day, 5 to 6 meditation, 9 to 10 meditation, 2 hours dedicated for meditation. And then I teach this yoga and meditation, the whole group do together. So that besides my daily duties, which I still do, cook the food, clean the house, do everything, connect with the whole big family, but that's not interfering with my duties anymore because I take care of the important things first in the morning.
I think that you are jumping the gun too much because we have not finished what Krishna Bhagwan didn't even begin speaking and you already have an opinion. That's that's one. So we have to have patience, number one, because it's a subtle subject. And Arjun had the same. Arjun was exactly in your same situation. First of all, Krishna Bhagwan is not saying that don't enjoy your life. We all already said. And whatever you like to do, all he's saying, divinize it. You like to dress up for Krishna. You like to dance, dress up, dance for Krishna. That's what it is he's saying. It doesn't mean literally, means, do something with enthusiasm, which is good for everybody. So that's one thing. And, Kamlaji's face is gone. But other question I wanted to ask is, suppose if you cannot do all of that, does that mean our spirituality is stopped? It is good that we can wake up at 4 o'clock, do and divide. Fantastic. If nobody, Krishna Bhagwan never says don't meditate. Suppose if I, for some reason, for about 18 days, uska war chala tha, I cannot do those things. Does that mean I've stopped being spiritual? I guess Kamlaji is not there.
So
Maybe.
she spoke her piece and disappeared because I want to answer her.
When she comes back in our discussion time we can, but हाँ कमला जी आ गई. तो कमला जी मैं पूछ रही थी कि समझो it is fantastic that COVID time we all got time to reflect, okay? Suppose there comes a time in your life where you cannot wake up at 4 o'clock, you cannot do meditation. Are you going to get frustrated, or do you think that you can still continue your spiritual life? That is my question to you. And then Joe has something to say. No, we cannot hear you. Wait. No, wait. Unmute yourself. हाँ, बोलिए.
And we can still continue with our daily life.
No, not daily life. My question is, if you are not able to do what you think is spiritual, meditating, all those great things you said, if you cannot do you think your spiritual life has stopped?
I have to connect with spirituality somehow, otherwise it will stop. I have to connect.
So that's where the problem is. Krishna Bhagwan is telling you your spiritual life can continue 24/7. What you are doing, you are dealing with your customer, you are doing your khana, you are, forget about jhadu laga rahe ho tum. And there's a Puranic story about Shabri. उसने झाड़ू लगाया पता नहीं कितने सालों तक और वो उसका पूजा बन गई. That gave her the self-realization because she was doing it for Bhagwan. It's just a symbolic thing I'm talking about. So that's what it is. Yeah, Joe, please.
I have a comment on Kamlaji. See, you are separating your meditation with your daily work. If you get disconnected with your body and your body is doing your daily work and you are in meditation mode, then there is no meditation at 4 in the morning. You are there 24/7. And that is one of the state you will reach.
To that stage.
You will not differentiate.
How to get to that stage, that's what this next 3 chapters are about. How to get to that. Wouldn't you like to do that? Let me ask you. Suppose if you can be in meditation like Joe is saying 24/7 and you never disconnect with Bhagwan. Wouldn't we want to do that?
I would love it.
So have patience.
If you do 700 years of meditation in some life and then next life you don't have to do any of that. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I'm dealing with customers, so I'll be away for a few minutes.
No problem. Go ahead. So we're gonna stop over here. We can pick it up in discussion time. Let's go to our Mandukya Upanishad. Okay. Om Bhadram Karne Bishrunyam Devaha Bhadram Pashye Makshabhiryajatraha Stire Range Sushtu Vagam Sastanubhihi Vyashem Devahitam Yadayuhu Swastina Indro Vruddhashavaha Swastina Pusha Vishwavedaha Swastina Staksharyo Arishtanemi Swastino Bruhaspatir Dadatu Om Narayanam Padbhuvam Vashishtam Shaktin cha Tatputra Parasharam cha Vyasam Shukam Gauda Padam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Mathasya Shishyam Shri Shankaracharya Mathasya Padma Padam cha Hastam Alakancha Shishyam Tam Trotakam Vartika Karya Manyan Asmad Gurun Santata Manatosmi Asmad Gurun Santata Manatosmi. Okay, it is verse 97. We are only 3 verses left in Mandukya Upanishad, Karika. Okay, so whoever has a book, please go on verse 97 of the last chapter. अणुमात्रेऽपि वे धर्मे जायमाने विपश्चितः असंगता सदा नास्ति किमुता वर्णच्युतिः. Okay, before I go to this 97, I just wanted to summarize the last one. It says pure consciousness, the essence of the separate entities, is admitted to be itself unborn and unrelated to any external object. This knowledge is proclaimed to be an unconditioned, as it were, not in any way related to any other objects. So the last one was about pure knowledge. That because, remember the words Sat Chit Anand or Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, and Satyam Shivam Sundaram. So many those vakyas are there, right? So consciousness is pure knowledge. Because when we think of a knowledge, we always think that we have to think from our brain and then only the knowledge comes. And all. That's not what they're talking about. They said in its purity, it's a complete, full knowledge of everything is there in the consciousness. Okay, that was the previous one. Unconditional knowledge. And this one, let's do the Sanskrit part now. Api anu matre, even the slightest idea, vedharme, of plurality. That means origin of any object different from Brahman. Jayamane, entertain. Avipaschitaha, by the ignorant. Asangataha, non-attachment or unconditioned. Sada is forever. Na asti, there cannot be. Kim uta, where then is, or means there is nothing. Avaran, veil. Chuti, the end of destruction. So let me just tell you what the basic idea over here is. They are saying in that pure consciousness, हम लोग ने काफ़ी हैश आउट किया इस कारिका में, उसमें कोई डिफरेंस नहीं आता है. That's the only thing. And whatever is the world is like a dream thing in our own mind. Right? That's what they are saying. So they are saying कि the concept of Maya, हम लोग बोलते हैं ना, माया ने उसको ढक लिया है, हमारी बुद्धि को या जो भी है. So what is the Sanskrit word Maya means? That which is not. That's the Maya. That's the Sanskrit word, and the translation is that which is not. तो है नहीं पर मुझे दिखाई देता है. That's the whole concept he's talking about. So he's saying that from the pure perspective, कोई माया वाया नहीं है, किसी ने कुछ ढका नहीं है. That's the reality, and this is how I see it. The people who are self-realized, they see Brahman only. We are the one who see the world. And we have seen the example of gold and ornament. From the gold perspective, there's nothing but gold. But I see it as a bangle, or I put value on it. A necklace is more expensive than the this or that, whatever. But reality, the gold is gold. That's it. And the other example is, I thought of very nice example is the snake and the rope. So let's go to that example. If I'm seeing a snake, does that mean that there is something there that is making me see it? Why am I seeing a snake? Anybody wants to answer?
I
Yeah.
think it is because in our brain we have a preconceived notion that this is what a snake looks like. And when we are not using our buddhi or our intellect, the first thing that occurs to us when we see a rope is that this has to be a snake.
So it's a kind of a delusion in my own mind, right?
Yeah,
I'm superimposing. And the other way you can look at it, I don't see the rope, that's why I see the snake. है कि नहीं? अगर एक बार मुझे रोप दिख गई और मेरे को पक्का विश्वास हो गया कि ये रोप है, फिर आप समझो आप 2 बजे रात को उठे और आपको स्नेक दिखाई दिया, राइट? और फिर किसी ने आके, किसी गुरु ने आके बोला, किसी फ्रेंड ने आके बोला कि भाई ए दिस इज नॉट अ स्नेक एंड पुट अ फ्लैश लाइट एंड देन यू से ओ या नाउ आई नो इट्स रोप. फिर आप 4 बजे वापस उठे और अभी आपने बाहर देखा तो वो आपको स्नेक जैसा दिखने लगा. फिर आपको अचानक याद आ गया, ओ माय गॉड दिस इज नॉट अ स्नेक, इट्स अ रोप. उसके बाद आपको क्या दिखेगा वहां पे?
rope.
यस, दैट्स व्हाट दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट, दैट एक्चुअली कुछ है नहीं, बट मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है बिकॉज मेरे दिमाग की वजह से. दैट्स द कॉन्सेप्ट आई गोना ब्रिंग इट अप. सो द आर्ग्यूमेंट इज कि इन रियलिटी ब्रह्मन और कॉन्शियसनेस में कोई डिफरेंस नहीं आता है. एवरीथिंग इज व्हाट वी सी इज ब्रह्मन ओनली, पर वो मेरी माइंड की वजह से, मेरी 5 सेंसेस की वजह से मुझे वो वैसा दिख रहा है. Okay. I think that Sushil ji, you have the book now. You can read this one.
Okay. The slightest idea of plurality in Atman, entertained by the ignorant, walls them off from their approach to the unconditioned. When there is the destruction of the veil covering the real nature of the Atman.
So ये क्वेश्चन पूछा है कि पहले तो उन्होंने कहा कि the slightest idea of plurality in Atman entertained by the ignorant, remember, walls them off from the approach. अगर थोड़ा भी, अगर मेरे को जरा सा भी स्नेक दिख रहा है ना, that means I have a problem, isn't it? In that same example. So that's what they're talking about. So वो जरा सा भी डाउट नहीं होना चाहिए, आपको पूरा कन्विंस होना चाहिए रोप ही है, you know. And then so he's saying that क्वेश्चन पूछा फिर वेयर इज द आइडिया ऑफ डिस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ द वेल. कौन सा वेल भाई? कुछ था ही नहीं वहां पे. एक बार आपको जब पता चल गया कि वो रोप है तो वेल भी गायब हो गया, सब कुछ गायब हो गया, यू नो. माया वेंट अवे. दैट्स व्हाट बेसिकली इज सेइंग. गो अहेड.
No compromise is ever possible between the dream state and the waking state. We cannot have the wealth of the dream in living with the waking state, world, nor can we transport the waking state experiences to the dream world circumstances. Even an iota of dream cannot persist when we are awakened.
So he's just saying कि एक बार तुमको वो रोप दिख गई ना, फिर तुमको स्नेक बॉदर नहीं करेगा बिल्कुल भी. और जब तक स्नेक दिखता रहा है ना, वो रोप नहीं दिखेगी. दैट्स व्हाट ही सेइंग. सो बोलते हैं ना कि इग्नोरेंस, अगर थोड़ा भी इग्नोरेंस है तो भी प्रॉब्लम है. It has to be completely gone, the ignorance. That's what they're talking about. Even a little bit of it is a problem. And in the worldly sense, we can say, remember we were discussing about, hey, I don't like this person. I have few friends and few enemies, or this person likes me, this person. No, in spirituality, they are saying you have to like everybody. विदाउट एक्सेप्शन. वो तुम्हारा दुश्मन भी क्यों ना हो, उसने खराब से काम, यू हैव टू सी भगवान इन दैट टू. दैट्स व्हाट फॉर आवर पर्पस, इफ वी अंडरस्टैंड दैट, then it will. Until I do that, I cannot cross over to that side. So from dream to waking, you know. Okay, go ahead.
Similar, when an entity has transcended his mind and intellect and has stepped onto the fields of infinite, he shall not thereafter entertain in himself even an iota of sense of plurality. In the unconditioned, where no conditioning can ever enter, so long as there is an awareness of the slightest subject-object relationship, the realization is not complete, and when the individual actually reaches the portals of the truth, and when he gets established in the experience of the unconditioned knowledge, pure consciousness, or the self, there then he discovers that there was never any way of screening his real nature from himself. He knew it all the time in terms of his own ignorance. The self is not produced through sadhana, it is only discovered from among its own imaginations and misunderstandings.
So this last sentence is a little bit confusing, but that's the message they are giving. And that's why they said the word they use is self-realization. That means I realized who I am. I was already there. I just didn't know it. And the best drishtanta or the story is of this king's son, जो मेले में खो गया. और he was very little, so he didn't know he was the king's son. And फिर उसको किसी भिखारी ने उठा लिया. And then पूरी up to his youth वो भीख मांग रहा था. फिर किसी ने उसको पहचान लिया और फिर उसको राजा के पास लेके गए और फिर राजा ने भी उसको पहचान लिया कि भाई ये मेरा ही बेटा है with some birthmark or whatever. And then all of a sudden he said, oh my God, I am the Rajkumar, I don't, मेरे को भीख नहीं मांगनी है. Does that mean he was ever not a Rajkumar? He was. He just didn't know it. That's what they're talking about. All of us are that pure consciousness. We just don't know it. And all this sadhana that we do, it is not to go get something outside or it's just to realize my own nature. That's what they're saying. I hope everybody understood the concept at least. Because these are, these cannot be described so much in words, but you have to kind of contemplate upon it. So,
Umaji, they did, whatever was read is so beautiful because you cannot go from one state to the other state anyway. You cannot go from dream state, as it said, to the waking. You cannot bring anything from those two states. So when you've realized you're actually in the other state, it's a different state altogether. So you cannot take anything of this. We see the plurality here, but you don't there because you yourself are with the body, the form is with the plurality, yet you are not the plurality. You are that one Brahman. You have attained that.
Yeah, I think that it's just everybody expresses this in their own words. So basically when they are saying about that two state, you can go from the dream to the waking state, but like you said, there is no connection between the two states.
There is no
connection. That's what it is. And then, this world looks so real to us, right? But even from the worldly perspective, the moment we drop the body, we cannot take even one needle from our house to the next realm. Isn't it?
Right.
So we don't even need some big Vedanta to tell us. We know, we see this. So whatever we have, everything, even our relationships, immediately the body is gone, that relationship is finished. And in next life, you don't know what you're going to be born as. The relationship can change or houses can change and you can be in a different country or whatever. But we so much forget and we think this is it. That's the problem. That's what Arjun had a problem. And what Krishna Bhagavan is telling Arjun, if you become self-realized and you know who you are, from that standpoint, no matter what comes in your life, you will be peaceful because it's just another experience.
Yes.
So how that fits what Krishna Bhagavan is telling Arjun, because Arjun had a very limited vision. He was just looking at me and my relatives. I have to kill them. Ye hai, wo hai. The moment he got a little bit higher, he felt better. oh yeah, I'm not doing it for myself, I'm doing it for my country. Then if he goes higher than that, hey, I'm the Atma and I got to do my Swadharma, in this life. That's all.
That's right.
Yeah. So,
So when it says self is not produced through sadhana, I don't know that word produced. Why is they are using the word produced? Maybe it's like saying self is not realized through sadhana.
no, produce means कोई नई चीज नहीं पैदा हो रही है. तुम जो थे वही तुम realize कर रहे हो. That's what it means. I think that words are always limited, Sushil. As you can see that what people are trying to say, जैसे हम लोग भाषा में भी बोलते हैं, ओ मुझे वो self realization चाहिए. I want to get there. Don't we say that? So वो जो ज्ञानी होएगा बोलेगा, you don't need to go anywhere to get it. You are it. See how they will say to us? हम लोग को शायद समझ में नहीं आए, मगर उनके पर्सपेक्टिव से तो तुमको कहाँ जाए, भागने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. You are just understand in your psyche that's who you are. But our problem is we know it, but we have not experienced. Sorry, huh?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
The better word would be created. We are not creating the self.
Producing, creating. True. Any word you can say, he's just saying तुम कुछ नया पैदा नहीं कर रहे हो, right? It's like
Nothing coming
huh?
outside.
What?
Nothing coming from outside. It's within you.
Within you. Yes. There you go. It's like ocean and the waves. The waves have no astitva other than the ocean. You cannot bring that water from a wave over here in my house and I cannot call it a wave then anymore. It has to be connected to that. You are the ocean. The wave is ocean. See that? I like that example a lot. You cannot separate ocean and waves.
But we are disconnected because of the form.
We are, as though disconnected, as though we feel in our mind.
Right, yeah.
True. So I think that, everybody's expressing in their own way, but you see, it's a hard subject. But as long as it gels somewhere inside, that's good enough, Even the saints and sages, they have a difficulty. We remember we had the verse in chapter 2 that whoever can speak is a wonder, whoever can understand is a wonder, whoever gets that stage everything is a wonder because it's so difficult to express, Okay, so we have two choices. Either we can stop because it's too heavy, or we can do one more. We have 10 more minutes. What does everybody like to do? No opinion?
About this ocean and the wave, you can say the ocean is the all pervading, and the ocean can exist without the wave, but the wave cannot exist without the ocean.
Very good. That's a very excellent way to. So true, and that all that detail will come in Bhagavad Gita also. But if we can understand, that's great. That's exactly right.
But the waves get disconnected all the time, and then connects and reconnects and disconnects. When they go up and down.
But just think about it, Shireen. What happens to the wave when we say disconnected? It just rose up and it went down. It is there only. In the water form, H2O में तो कोई फर्क नहीं आया ना. Sorry, I cannot hear you. Shireen, you're off. You're muting.
The drops of the waves, they go into the air. They are disconnected, but they come back again.
Whenever there's an example, just stick with what they're trying to say. The moment you start stretching the example too much, you will lose what they're trying to say.
I understand.
Basically, gold and ornament. Okay, the ornaments were never disconnected from gold because there cannot be ornament without the gold. Think about it. Was there ever disconnect?
See, there is no independent existence of the gold ornaments or of the wave without the water, without the ocean. So that's one thing.
Yes.
It's not independent existence.
And there is sorry, go ahead.
No. And when the wave stops to be a wave, which I think Shireen meant to say, when she said it's disconnected. It's not disconnected because it stops to be a wave because it has fallen back into the ocean
There
and
you
become
go.
a part of the ocean
Yes.
again. Like the same way gold, if a necklace wants to say, I'm a necklace, but it's not really a necklace because if you melt that necklace, it will become gold again. So it does not have any identity apart from its base existence.
Yes.
Whatever. Yeah.
I think you got that's exactly right. And then the last part I wanted to say.
Temporary identity, like all of us, we all have temporary identity, but we all have to actually remember that we are all part of the ocean.
Yes, true. And the other last part I want to put in everybody's mind is at the तत्व level, उसको क्या बोलते हैं, essence में ना वो same ही है. Wave and ocean is in essence is H2O.
Yeah.
And the same like with the gold, that whether when we say वो वापस gold बन गया, वो भी एक language की problem है because वो कभी और कुछ था ही नहीं. Right? वो gold ही था, पहले भी था, अभी भी है, रहेगा, form खाली change हुआ है उसका. But from the gold perspective,
is a better example.
huh?
When you say H2O, that's a better.
हाँ, तो H2O, because when they say ना, जब कृष्ण भगवान हमेशा बोलते हैं, जो तत्व से मुझे जानता है ना, वो ज्ञानी है. Means the one who knows me by essence, and that essence is, without that essence we are nothing. So the essence is within us. And the other beautiful example is space, and it is never cut, but it appears as though, my room space and my house space, but in reality, space is in and through everything. We cannot exist without space. So all these examples, if you churn upon it, it becomes clear. So I think I'm going to stop it here instead of going to the last one, because these are very heavy things. We can all and then whoever wants to stay for further discussion or question can stay, like we said. I'm just going to do the closing prayer. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om.